The darkest hour of my life taught me the most profound lesson about work and success. I was broke, sleeping in my car with nothing but $47 to my name. The winter nights were bitter cold, and doubt crept in like a thief, stealing away my dreams piece by piece. But in that moment of absolute despair, I discovered something extraordinary. The raw, unstoppable power that lies dormant within each of us. You see, most people live their entire lives at half throttle, convinced that success is reserved for the lucky few, the naturally gifted, or those born into privilege. They wake up each morning, drag themselves to jobs they hate, and wonder why their dreams remain perpetually out of reach. They're living in what I call the someday syndrome, always waiting for the perfect moment, the right circumstances, or divine intervention to transform their lives. Success isn't about luck. It isn't about talent. It isn't even about intelligence. Success is about one thing and one thing only: working like hell. When I say work like hell, I'm not talking about mindless busy work or burning yourself out. I'm talking about a level of commitment so intense, so focused, and so relentless that failure becomes literally impossible. It's about pushing past the artificial limitations we've placed on ourselves and tapping into the extraordinary potential that exists within every single person in this room. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow? How many dreams have you postponed because the timing wasn't right? How many excuses have you crafted to justify playing it safe? The truth is, we become masters at rationalizing our own mediocrity. But what if I told you that every single excuse you've ever made was a lie? What if I told you that the only thing standing between you and your wildest dreams is your willingness to work like hell to achieve them? I've seen it countless times. Individuals from every walk of life facing seemingly insurmountable odds who transform their circumstances through sheer, unwavering determination. A single mother who worked 3 jobs while building their business empire. A man who learned to walk again after doctors said he never would. A high school dropout who became a pioneering researcher. These aren't fairy tales. They're testament to the extraordinary power of unrelenting work. The problem isn't that we don't know what to do. The problem is that we're not willing to do what we know we must do. We've become too comfortable with comfort, too familiar with familiar, too accepting of average. We've forgotten that inside each of us burns an infinite potential, a fire that, when properly stoked, can illuminate the darkest night and overcome any obstacle. Think about the greatest achievements in human history. The pyramids weren't built by people who worked reasonable hours. The greatest inventions weren't created by those who quit when things got tough. Every significant breakthrough, every revolutionary innovation, every remarkable accomplishment came from individuals who were willing to work like hell to make their vision reality. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think working like hell means sacrificing everything else in life. They picture endless hours of joyless toil, missing out on life's precious moments. Nothing could be further from the truth. Working like hell isn't about duration. It's about intensity. It's about bringing every ounce of your being to whatever you're doing in this moment. When you're with your family, be fully present. When you're working on your dreams, be completely immersed. When you're learning something new, dive in with total commitment. This is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary, the ability to bring maximum intensity to everything you do. I've studied successful people across every field imaginable, and they all share one common trait. They approach their work with an almost religious devotion. They understand that excellence isn't an act, it's a habit. It's not something you do occasionally when you feel inspired. It's something you do consistently, regardless of how you feel. Look at any field of human endeavor, sports, business, art, science, and you'll find that the true masters aren't necessarily the most talented. They're the ones who showed up early, stayed late, and most importantly, brought an intensity to their work that others couldn't match. They're the ones who worked like hell. But let me be clear about something. Working like hell isn't about suffering. It's about finding joy in the pursuit of excellence. It's about discovering that magical state where time seems to disappear and you become one with your purpose. Athletes call it the zone. Artists call it flow. I call it living at your highest potential. The beautiful paradox is that when you commit to working like hell, when you pour every ounce of your being into your pursuits, life doesn't become harder, it becomes easier. Why? Because you stop wrestling with self-doubt. You stop wasting energy on whether you should or shouldn't. You stop looking for shortcuts and start embracing the journey. Right now, in this very moment, you have a choice to make. You can continue living at half throttle, making excuses and settling for less than you're capable of, or you can decide right here, right now, to work like hell for everything you want in life. I'm not talking about making a half-hearted commitment that you'll forget by tomorrow morning. I'm talking about making a fundamental shift in how you approach every single day of your life. I'm talking about deciding once and for all that mediocrity is no longer an option. When you make this shift, something remarkable happens. The universe starts conspiring in your favor. Opportunities that seemed out of reach suddenly become accessible. People who can help you achieve your goals mysteriously appear in your life. It's not magic. It's the natural result of approaching life with unstoppable intensity. But remember this, the decision to work like hell must come from a place of self-love, not self-loathing. You're not doing this to prove your worth to anyone else. You're doing this because you finally recognize your own infinite potential and refuse to settle for anything less than its full expression. Take a moment right now and think about what you really want in life, not what others expect of you, not what seems realistic. What do you truly, deeply desire? Now ask yourself, have you been working like hell to achieve it? Have you been bringing maximum intensity to your pursuits? Or have you been hiding behind excuses and half measures? The truth is, most people don't fail because they aim too high and miss. They fail because they aim too low and hit. They set goals that don't ignite their soul, pursue dreams that don't wake them up in the morning, and then wonder why they can't find the motivation to work like hell. Let me share something powerful with you. Something that transformed my understanding of human potential. Every single person in this room has experienced moments of absolute excellence. Moments when you performed at a level that surprised even yourself. Maybe it was during a crisis, when someone you loved needed you. Maybe it was when your back was against the wall and failure wasn't an option. In those moments, you discovered what you're truly capable of. But here's the million-dollar question. Why do we wait for circumstances to push us to excellence? Why do we need external pressure to tap into our infinite potential? The answer is both simple and profound. We've been conditioned to live in our comfort zone, to seek safety over growth, to choose certainty over possibility. Working like hell means making a conscious decision to live outside your comfort zone. It means embracing discomfort as a sign of growth. It means understanding that the pain of discipline weighs ounces, while the pain of regret weighs tons. That you think about this. Every morning, you have a choice. You can choose the path of least resistance, the easy road that leads to mediocrity, or you can choose the path of maximum resistance, the challenging road that leads to excellence. The difference between these paths isn't talent, intelligence, or opportunity. The difference is intensity. When you work like hell, you develop what I call the intensity advantage. This isn't just about working harder than everyone else. It's about working with a level of focus and commitment that makes success inevitable. It's about bringing such intensity to your pursuits that obstacles become opportunities. Setbacks become setups, and failures become feed. Let me be absolutely clear about something. Working like hell isn't about burning yourself out. It's not about sacrificing your health, your relationships, or your joy. In fact, it's quite the opposite. When you work like hell from a place of purpose and passion, you don't deplete your energy and you multiply it. Think about a time when you were totally absorbed in something you loved. Time seemed to fly by. Hours felt like minutes. That's because you were operating in alignment with your purpose. When you work like hell on something that matters to you, you tap into an endless source of energy that most people never discover. But here's where most people get stuck. They're waiting for motivation to strike before they take action. They're waiting to feel ready before they begin. They're waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. The secret is motion. Intensity creates inspiration. When you commit to working like hell, motivation follows naturally. I want you to understand something fundamental about success. It's not a destination. It's a direction. It's not something you achieve once and then coast. It's a constant commitment to excellence, a daily decision to bring your absolute best to everything you do. The world is filled with talented people who never reach their potential because they're unwilling to work like hell. And it's filled with seemingly average people who achieve extraordinary things because they refuse to settle for less than their best. Every single day, you're either growing or dying. There's no standing still in life. When you're working like hell, you're not just pursuing external success. You're expanding your own capabilities. You're becoming more of who you were meant to be. But let me tell you what working like hell really means in practical terms. It means being the first one to arrive and the last one to leave, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because you're committed to mastery. It means doing the things others aren't willing to do, learning the things others aren't willing to learn, and pushing yourself when others are content to coast. Working like hell means treating every task, no matter how small, as an opportunity to express excellence. It means understanding that how you do anything is how you do everything. When you truly grasp this principle, your entire life transforms. I've seen people revolutionize their lives by applying this principle. Not through some magical transformation, but through the consistent application of intense effort. They stopped looking for shortcuts and started embracing the long road to mastery. They stopped seeking comfort and started seeking growth. Here's the truth that most people never grasp. The purpose of working like hell isn't just to achieve external success. It's to discover who you really are. It's to push past your perceived limitations and tap into the infinite potential that lies. When you work like hell, you develop what psychologists call self-efficacy, the unshakable belief in your ability to achieve your goals. This isn't empty positive thinking. It's confidence built on a foundation of intense effort and consistent achievement. But remember this, working like hell doesn't mean doing everything. It means identifying what truly matters and bringing maximum intensity to those priorities. It means saying no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones. It means focusing your energy where it will have the greatest impact. Most people live their entire lives at 40 of their potential. They've never discovered what they're truly capable of because they've never pushed themselves to their limits. They've never experienced the exhilaration of breaking through their self-imposed barriers. Working like hell means making a commitment to excellence that goes beyond motivation, beyond mood, beyond circumstances. It means showing up with intensity even when you don't feel like it. It means pushing yourself especially when you don't feel like it. Think about the greatest achievements in your life. I guarantee they didn't come from half-hearted effort. They came from moments when you decided to push past your comfort zone, when you refused to settle for less than your best, when you worked like hell to make something happen. There's a profound difference between interest and commitment. When you're interested in something, you do it only when circumstances permit. When you're committed to something, you accept no excuses, only results. Working like hell is about making that shift from interest to absolute commitment. Let me share something powerful with you about commitment. In nature, there's a point of no return that forces animals to give everything they have. When a mother eagle builds her nest, she starts with thorns, broken branches, and sharp rocks. Then she overlays it with a thick padding of wool. Feathers and fur from animals she has killed, making it soft and comfortable for her eggs. When her babies are born, they snuggle into that comfort. But here's the fascinating part. When it's time for the eaglets to learn to fly, the mother eagle begins to pull out all the soft padding. The eaglets suddenly find themselves on the sharp thorns and rocks. The nest becomes so uncomfortable that they have no choice but to spread their wings and fly. This is exactly what working like hell does. It pushes you out of your comfort zone and forces you to tap into strengths you didn't even know you had. The discomfort you feel when pushing your limits isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're growing. Most people misunderstand what it means to work like hell. They think it's about constant grinding, about sacrificing joy for success. But true intensity isn't about suffering. It's about aligning yourself so completely with your purpose that every action becomes meaningful. Think about a master musician practicing their craft. From the outside, it might look like tedious repetition. But for them, each note, each subtle variation. Each moment of practice is an opportunity to touch excellence. They're not just putting in time, they're pursuing mastery with every fiber of their being. This is the kind of intensity I'm talking about. It's not about duration. It's about depth. It's not about grinding, it's about growing. When you work like hell from this place of alignment, you don't deplete yourself. But here's something crucial you need to understand. Working like hell requires rhythm. Just as your heart beats in a pattern of contraction and relaxation, your intense effort needs to be balanced with strategic recovery. This isn't about working 24/7. It's about bringing maximum intensity to the moments that matter. The secret is to develop what I call intensity triggers, specific cues that signal your mind and body it's time to operate at peak capacity. These triggers might be as simple as your morning routine, your workspace setup, or the words you say to yourself before taking on a challenging task. When you master these triggers, you develop the ability to shift into high intensity at will. You no longer need to wait for motivation or inspiration. You can generate it on demand through your commitment to excellence. But let me tell you something that might surprise you. Working like hell isn't just about what you do. It's about who you become in the process. Every time you choose intensity over comfort, excellence over mediocrity, growth over safety, you're not just changing your circumstances. Think about this. Every decision you make is either moving you toward or away from your highest potential. Every moment you're either strengthening or weakening your commitment to excellence. There's no neutral ground. The quality of your life will ultimately be determined by the quality of your standards. When you raise your standards, when you decide that good enough isn't good enough anymore, everything changes. Your entire world transforms to meet your new level of expectation. Working like hell means refusing to accept the limitations others try to place on you. It means understanding that the only real limitations are the ones you accept. Every great achievement in human history was first declared impossible by the experts of the day. But here's what separates those who achieve greatness from those who merely dream about it: their response to failure. When you're working like hell, failure isn't a signal to stop. It's feedback. It's data. It's a necessary step on the path to mastery. I want you to understand something profound about human potential. You are capable of far more than you currently believe. Your limitations are largely self-imposed. They're based on outdated beliefs about what's possible for you. Working like hell means systematically destroying these limiting beliefs through consistent, intense action. Every time you push past what you thought was your limit, you create a new normal. You expand your conception of what's possible. But remember this, the goal isn't to become superhuman. The goal is to fully express your existing potential. You already have everything you need within you. Working like hell is simply the process of bringing it out. Think about water. At room temperature, it's fluid, adaptable, but relatively powerless. But when you heat it up, when you add intensity, it becomes steam capable of powering engines and transforming the world. This is what happens when you bring intensity to your life's work. The world is filled with talented people who never reach their potential because they're waiting for the perfect moment to start. They're waiting for conditions to be just right. But those who work like hell understand that conditions are never perfect. The perfect moment is now. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice to make. You can choose to live at half capacity, to coast through life, to accept whatever comes your way, or you can choose to work like hell, to bring every ounce of your being to everything. Let me tell you something about adversity that most people never understand. It's not your enemy, it's your ally. When you're working like hell, obstacles don't block your path. They are the path. Every setback, every failure, every moment of doubt is an opportunity to demonstrate your commitment to excellence. I've seen too many people quit just inches from their breakthrough moment. They work hard for a while, face some resistance, and then convince themselves it wasn't meant to be. But here's the truth. The moment you feel like giving up is often the moment right before your breakthrough. Think about a breakthrough in your own life. A time when you pushed past what you thought were your limits. Remember how it felt in those moments of doubt when everything in you wanted to quit, but you didn't. You kept going. You worked like hell. And then something extraordinary happened. You broke through. That breakthrough wasn't luck. It wasn't a coincidence. It was the natural result of maintaining intensity when others would have quit. This is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary, the willingness to keep working like hell when results aren't yet visible. But let me tell you something crucial about maintaining this level of intensity. It requires what I call emotional intelligence under fire. This means maintaining your commitment to excellence even when emotions are running high, even when circumstances are challenging, even when the world seems to be working against. Most people let their emotions dictate their actions. When they feel discouraged, they slack off. When they feel afraid, they retreat. When they feel uncomfortable, they quit. But when you're working like hell, you develop the ability to separate your actions from your emotions. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending they don't exist. It means understanding that your commitment to excellence isn't dependent on how you feel in any given moment. Your intensity isn't a mood, it's a decision. Think about this. Every significant achievement in history was created by someone who kept working like hell through doubt, through fear, through uncertainty. They didn't wait for confidence to take action. They built confidence through action. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think working like hell means never taking a break, never showing weakness, never acknowledging struggles. Nothing could be further from the truth. Real strength isn't about being invincible. It's about being resilient. Resilience isn't built through constant success. It's built through the way you handle setbacks. When you're working like hell, setbacks become set up for comebacks. Obstacles become opportunities. Challenges become chances to prove your commitment. Let me share something powerful about resilience. It's not about bouncing back to where you were. It's about bouncing forward to where you need to be. Every setback, when approached with intensity and purpose, contains the seeds of an equal or greater opportunity. But here's the key. You have to stay in the game long enough for your intensity to compound. Most people quit too soon. They work like hell for a while, don't see immediate results, and give up. They don't understand that success is like compound interest. It takes time to build, but once it starts compounding, it becomes unstoppable. Think about water dripping on a rock. One drop doesn't make a difference. 100 drops don't make a difference. But when you maintain that constant intensity over time, even the hardest rock gives way. This is how working like hell transforms your life. Not through single dramatic moments, but through consistent, intense effort applied over time. The challenge isn't just starting strong, it's maintaining that intensity when the initial excitement fades. It's bringing your absolute best when no one is watching, when results aren't immediate, when doubt creeps in. This is where most people falter. They start with enthusiasm but can't maintain the intensity. They work like hell when they feel motivated but slack off when they don't. They haven't yet understood that motivation is a result of action, not a prerequisite for it. Let me tell you something about maintaining intensity that took me years to understand. It's not about trying harder. It's about aligning deeper. When your actions are in complete alignment with your purpose, intensity becomes natural. You don't have to force it. It flows through you. Think about a time when you were so absorbed in what you were doing, that time seemed to disappear. That state of flow, that natural intensity comes from alignment. When you're working like hell on something that truly matters to you, exhaustion is replaced by exhilaration. But here's the challenge. Maintaining that alignment isn't always easy. The world has a way of pulling us off course, of distracting us from what truly matters. This is why working like hell requires more than just physical effort. It requires mental and emotional mastery. You must develop what I call a fortress mindset, an internal environment so strong that external circumstances can't shake your commitment to excellence. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending challenges don't exist. It means maintaining your intensity, regardless of circumstances. Think about this. Every day, you're training people how to treat you by the standards you accept for yourself. When you work like hell, when you bring intensity to everything you do, you send a powerful message to the world about who you are and what you stand for. But more importantly, you send a powerful message to yourself. Every time you choose intensity over comfort, excellence over mediocrity, growth over safety, you're strengthening your self-image as someone who works like hell. You're building what psychologists call self-efficacy, the unshakable belief in your ability to achieve your goals. As we come to this moment of truth together, I want you to really hear what I'm about to say. Working like hell isn't just a strategy for success. It's a declaration of who you are. It's a statement to the universe that you refuse to live at anything less than your full potential. Every single person in this room has felt that fire inside, that burning desire to be more, to do more, to achieve more. But most people let that fire die down. They let the opinions of others, the challenges of life, the comfort of mediocrity extinguish their flame. But you're different. I can feel it. You wouldn't be here right now if you weren't ready to step into your power, to claim your greatness, to work like hell for everything you want in life. Think about the dreams you've been carrying in your heart. Think about the impact you want to make, the life you want to create, the legacy you want to leave. Now ask yourself, have you been bringing the level of intensity those dreams deserve? Working like hell means making a decision that your dreams are too important to leave to chance. It means understanding that every moment of every day is an opportunity to move closer to your goals or further away from them. There's no standing still. Let me tell you something profound about human potential that most people never grasp. Your capacity for growth is virtually limitless. The only thing holding you back is your willingness to push beyond your comfort zone, to work like hell when others are resting, to maintain intensity when others are coasting. But here's what makes this journey so beautiful. You don't have to do it alone. When you commit to working like hell, when you demonstrate through your actions that you're serious about your dreams, the universe has a way of bringing the right people, opportunities, and circumstances into your life. I've seen it happen countless times. Someone makes a decision to work like hell, to bring maximum intensity to everything they do, and suddenly doors begin to open. Opportunities appear. Support manifests. It's not magic. It's the natural result of aligning yourself with excellence. Think about this. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every moment of transformation began with a decision. Not a wish, not a hope, not a maybe someday, a decision to work like hell until that dream becomes real. That decision is available to you right now. In this moment, you can choose to step into your power, to claim your greatness, to commit to working like hell for everything you want in life. But let me be clear about something. This decision isn't about becoming someone different. It's about becoming more of who you truly are. It's about stripping away the limitations, the doubts, the fears that have been holding you back. Working like hell isn't about forcing yourself to do things you hate. It's about aligning yourself so completely with your purpose that intensity becomes natural. It's about finding that sweet spot where passion meets persistence, where determination meets destiny. Think about the impact your commitment to excellence will have, not just on your life, but on everyone around you. When you work like hell, when you bring your absolute best to everything you do, you inspire others to do the same. Your intensity becomes contagious. Your commitment becomes catalytic. This is about more than just personal success. This is about becoming a force for good in the world. When you work like hell from a place of purpose, when you bring intensity to serving others, when you commit to excellence in all things, you create ripples that touch countless lives. The world needs your intensity right now. It needs your commitment to excellence. It needs your willingness to work like hell for what matters most. We're living in extraordinary times that demand extraordinary effort from extraordinary people. And make no mistake, you are extraordinary. The very fact that you're here, that you're engaging with these ideas, that you're willing to consider working like hell for your dreams sets you apart. Most people will never even contemplate this level of commitment. But contemplation isn't enough. Knowledge isn't enough. Inspiration isn't enough. The only thing that counts is action, intense, focused, consistent action. Working like hell isn't a concept to be understood. Right now, in this moment, you have a choice to make. You can walk out of here with nothing but inspiration, or you can walk out with a decision that will transform your life. You can choose to continue living at half capacity, or you can choose to work like hell for everything you want in life. The decision is yours, but the consequences of that decision will affect not just you, but your commitment to excellence, your willingness to work like hell, your dedication to bringing your absolute best to everything you do. These choices create ripples that extend far beyond your own life. Remember this, 20 years from now, you won't regret working like hell for your dreams. You won't regret pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. You won't regret maintaining intensity when others quit. The only thing you'll regret is not starting sooner. The time is now. The person is you. The decision is clear. Will you continue to live at half capacity, making excuses and settling for less than you're capable of? Or will you make the decision right here, right now, to work like hell for everything you want in life? Your dreams are waiting. Your potential is calling. Your legacy is at stake. The only question that remains is, are you ready to work like hell? Stand up right now. Feel the power of this decision in every cell of your body. Let it fill you with energy, with determination, with unstoppable intensity. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your declaration to the universe that from this moment forward, you commit to working like hell for everything you want in life. The future belongs to those who work like hell for it. Your future starts now. Make it count. Work like hell. Transform your world. And never, ever look back. Thank you.